Okay, good afternoon, everyone. Today we will be doing lab 5. Let me read you question number 1. Okay, so the first question is, I'm just going to read it verbatim. Write a method named times 10. The method should accept a double argument and return a double value that it is 10 times the value of the argument. And then the method And then by calling the method, by calling it from the main method and processing any double value to it, print the returned value on screen. That's basically what the first is supposed to do. And I'm going to share my screen as I type this out. I'll explain everything later in the code. You should be seeing the screen here. I'm going to make it a bit bigger, a bit bigger, so that it's easier to see. Okay, so first I have my main method, but I need another method called times 10. So I'm going to create that and make it a double and create that method really quick. You know what? I'm gonna just copy the main method and make changes as necessary. Obviously, this wouldn't it wouldn't be called main. I'm making it a double. Okay. Double. And I'm gonna call it times 10. We're gonna call it times 10, and then we're gonna make it, I'll call it times 10. Oh yeah, and this, and we're gonna add our return statement here. All right, let's start off. I'll just type and explain later. Space here, or user domain space here, space here. Now, value of value input times whatever the answer is. Done with this. So, let me explain. So, here I am defining a double variable for input value and initializing it with the value 5.5. But the value here can be literally any number with a decimal as long as there's double here. So like I can call it 7.8 and the code is still run the same. But I'm gonna leave it at 5.5. Just seems simple. You know what? Let's make it 7.8. 7.8. Like that. And then here, I call the times 10 method with the input value and store the result in answer. That's what this is doing here. And then this line here will print the result to, will print the result and display the original value, which is this, and the answer. And then down here, I'm multiplying the value by 10, and then I am returning the answer. Okay, let's watch it run. As you can see, it says value, it tells you the original value, and then it has the answer here. I'm going to put a space up here so it looks better. I was typing fast. Let's rerun it. Let's try changing the number back to 5.5 to give us a different answer, but the code will run the same. Rerun it. Okay. Awesome. Let's move on to the next one. The next one will be, I'm pulling up the instructions so that I can read them. The next question will be falling distance. Excuse me. When an object is falling because of gravity, the following formula can be used to determine the distance the object falls in a specific time period. And the formula for that is d distance equals 1/2 gravity time squared. The variables in the formula are as follows. D is distance in meters. G is 9.8, which is constant. And T is the amount of time in seconds that the object has been falling. Write a method named falling distance that accepts an object's falling time in seconds as in as an argument. The method should return the distance in meters that the object has fallen during the time travel. The method the method should be called in in using a loop located in the main method that processes the values 1 through 10 as arguments and displays the return value on screen. So let's do that real quick. Let's, we have our main method. So I'm going to make my second method. Oops. Oh, this will go down. There we go. I'm going to make my second method. And I'm just going to make it a double since we're doing seconds. There can be 2.1 seconds. So I'm going to just make it a double. Can you see my screen? Let me be sure you can. Yeah, you can. Okay. I will explain after I'm done. Just copy this and change it as necessary. Right, if I don't have to. And I have my return statement. Double falling distance. What do you want it to be called again? Let me look. What do you want it to be called? You wanted it to be called falling distance. Okay. Since this is basically the name of it, I'm gonna just copy that. Hmm, go back. This is okay. Current statement. That value there. Let's start. I'm gonna create our loop for this. No, so there's a typo. Is this distance from I EU? Um, distance. Yeah, I'm missing something. What am I missing? Not this here. No, I'll figure it. Okay. I'm using this so that the value does not change. Oops. Sure. It's not. I'm going to pause recording so that I can look over my code. This recording isn't so I see my mistake, but oh, but there we go. Okay, let's start from the top. So up here, we're using this loop so that it can loop through the values from 1 to 10 seconds. And down here, we're calling the following distance method with the current time and and with the current time, and it will store the answer. Then we're going to go down here. This is going to print the distance fallen in the current time intervals. Then we're going to go down here. This is for the gravity in meters per second squared. And then this is to calculate the distance using the formula d equals um, d equals 1/2 gt squared. That's why time is done twice. Let's run this code. And it has it incremented. Well, it has it here multiple times. 1 through 10, as you can see. Maybe you can't see. Let me move my head. Wait. Through 10. Move that all the way so you can see my full code. Oh, right on this. Yeah. Moving on. Next one will be go back to Chrome to read the instructions for the next one. We will be excuse me, we will be converting the temperature the com from the ugh, my brain. We will be converting the temperature from centigrade to Fahrenheit. So the formula is F equals 9 divided by 5 times C plus 32. So let me read the instructions verbatim. Where F is Fahrenheit temperature, and C is centigrade temperature, write a method named Fahrenheit that accepts the centigrade temperature as a argument. And as an argument, the method should return the temperature converted to Fahrenheit. Demonstrate the method by calling it in a loop from the main method. Display the centigrade temperature 0 through 20 and their Fahrenheit equivalents on screen. Right. Let's do it. It's quite similar to the previous problem. It's quite similar to the previous project. First, let's start here. I'll explain at the end. Okay. Basically converting Celsius to Fahrenheit. Okay. Can I spell Celsius? I'm just going. Here and change it as necessary. Yeah, we're gonna make this also a double. Oh, here, I hit right there. Double Fahrenheit. Right. And then it's gonna have to be double Celsius. Whatever. Centigrade. Yeah, gonna do. You know what? I'm not gonna make this. It's a double. I think I want to make it just. Yeah. Divided by 5 times the centigrade times centigrade. Grade. Grade. That's what's there we go. And have that at the end. Let me fix this real quick. Okay, let's start explaining. Okay, up here in the main class, I created a for loop so that it loops through the centigrade temperature from 0 to 20. Then I called the Fahrenheit method to the method with the centigrade temperature. Then then in this line here, we will print the centigrade temperature and its Fahrenheit equivalent. And down here, we're basically just doing the math. We calculated the Fahrenheit using the formula F minus 5 divided by F equals 9 divided by 5 times C plus 32. Okay, save that, and then let's run it. Wonky. Spacing out right. It's weird. Rerun that. Now the spaces are in the right place. Okay, so let me move my head. Look, you can see that it goes from 0 to 20. Only everything. Here is the entire total. All right. Here's the entire code for this one. Here's the entire code for this one. We have one more project to do. Last project, let me bring up the instructions one more time. The last project is going to be calculating the distance traveled by a vehicle. So the distance a vehicle travels can be calculated as follows. Distance equals speed multiplied times time traveled. Write a method named distance that accepts a vehicle's speed and time as arguments and return the distance the vehicle has traveled. Determine the method by calling from the main method and processing the two required arguments and display the return value on screen. Okay, let's do that real quick. Start off with our main method. First, we're going to create our integers, speed and time, and speed. Let's say we're like regular degular 160. The speed limit is 60, and you drove for 2 hours. Times 90 is 2. You drove for 2 hours straight. Therefore, you drove 60 minutes, 60 miles per hour. Hmm. Oh yeah, let's make our other main da da da. Has to be called distance traveled. And I'm gonna name it distance. I guess IST ANC distance. And we're going to use speed and time. That okay. Meantime, and we're going to distance and speed time. Right. Okay. Yeah. Hey. Traveled distance. Distance. It's the distance. Got my here. Ah, put in a plus sign. Oops. Equals. Okay. Then we have to put our SYS. That print. Okay. Let's do the space plus this The vehicle has traveled whatever the travel distance is, right? In between whatever distance, miles, period. Space here. And we got to add a return statement here. You got the issue. Distance. Oh, that was a mistake. Um, I was supposed to put that. You can get a time in time here. Right. Expected. Um, Let me pause this recording so I can figured out my issue. Okay, figured out the issue. Okay, let us explain. Let me explain. Okay, here, this is the vehicle's speed in miles per hour. This is the time traveled, time in hours. And then down here, we are calling the distance method with speed and time, and this will store the answer or the result. This right here will print the calculated distance. This down here will calculate the distance using formula distance equals speed times time. And then this line here will return the calculated distance. All right, let's run it and see. Let me move my head. Let me move my head. Can you see right here? It says the car has traveled 120 miles, and this will change depending on what numbers you put up here. Okay, let me enlarge the screen so you can see all my code. That was everything. Bye bye.